Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is part 2 of Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified, Hostiles. Now Hostiles is around the same as Operations. Basically, you got these 5 missions in a row, and you got to get 1 star in the previous mission to unlock the next mission. Now Hostiles is wave-based survival on 5 of the 6 multiplayer maps. Now it took me a little while to figure out which map was missing, and that map is Container. Container seems like it'd be the perfect map for survival, because, I mean, like, they even have Nuke House. I'll explain Nuke House later in the multiplayer video, but bloody hell, Nuke House is really tiny, Container is bigger than Nuke House, and yet Nuke House, for some reason, has its own Hostiles map. Meanwhile, Container doesn't, but I'll be sure to explain that later on. So, basically, Hostiles is, yeah, it's wave-based survival. I'll explain it more once we get in there, but let's just have a go then. Again, loading times. Funny thing is, they're actually using half decent loading. Oh well, no. I'm just going to cut that whole bit of audio out because that was embarrassing. Yeah, but the loading screen actually shows a very representative image of what the game's graphics are like. That surprises me. It's like, why don't they use something pre-rendered or something? No, this actually looks like what the game really is. Alright, so basically you get a few seconds to prepare yourself, and then next thing you know, enemy forces. So let's... Okay. So you can pause at any time. And, yeah, on the screen here you can see the red dots. The red dots are the enemies. So basically you can see where every enemy is at any point in time. You start off with a pistol weapon. You start off with some sort of pistol weapon called shots, and you've got to replace your guns on the way through. So this striker is basically the best weapon you can use right now. And you basically just got to tear through all these enemies. Sorry, did I forget to kill you? There we go. Oop, I'm being snuck up on. Remember to keep an eye on your motion detector, as it is vital for winning this game. Just die, please. Thank you. What? Holy shit. I knew you could knife 2 people at once, but I just took down 3. No comment. Die, please. God damn it. Yeah, as you can see in the bottom left corner, it tells you how many hostiles are left. Knife you. Feels more like a punch than a knife. So, yeah, the knife feels more like a punch, which is a little bit disappointing. I'm assuming you're watching this in order, like you're doing the operations video first. Oh, almost forgot. At the end of every wave, these crates spawn. If you get to them in time and pick them up, you can take what's in them. Sometimes there's a sentry gun, sometimes there's a mortar strike, sometimes there's an ammo replenish, but most of the time it's usually just a new weapon with full ammo. So yeah, you basically just replace the worst weapon you have with a new weapon. If you have 2 weapons that you want to keep, you just wait until one of them runs out of ammo and then you pick up a new weapon. The guns it gives you are mostly good, except for the crossbow, because the crossbow is downright useless. I've only ever used it once, and I've played like 6 matches. So 6 matches of Hostiles, I should say. Please die. Thank you. Yeah, the AI is pretty brain dead, to be perfectly honest, but I just... yeah. You know, it can kill you if you let up. If you let it sneak up on you, you will get destroyed. I'm just going to swap back to this. Yeah, well, it gets better. It gets a little better later on, but I'm going to go over... Basically, the idea is that in most games of Hostiles, you want to survive up to the late 10s in terms of waves, because that's when where the 3-star goal is. Basically, starting from wave 1, we're on wave 3 right now. I'm not going to get to that crate in time, am I? No. But yeah, basically, you go from wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. Every couple of waves, the enemy changes guns. So basically, yeah. So they start off with really shitty shotguns all the time, and then they move up to crappy assault rifles, and they move up to AK-47s with ACOGs, and yeah, you know, it just goes up in a chain like that. And other than changing the weapons and changing the fact that some guys explode, there's nothing else. Like, there's quite literally there's no attack dogs, there's no different types of enemies, there's no juggernauts, there's no nothing. There's not even a couple of snipers or a couple of different tactics. They usually just all have the same gun and they all just charge you, which is really disappointing. Yeah. And besides, 90% of the time you will never get a grenade refill, so use them wisely. I'm probably just about to die. Yeah, but as you can see, that was really damn easy. I mean, they do get harder later on. Like, the difficulty of the AI does increase exponentially as you get further on in waves, and also when you get further on in waves, they start spawning in quicker, so you can get attacked by like groups of 5 or 6 of them. But they never remain that hard to fend off, because the multiplayer maps are really small, and they just don't have that much to them. This is... yeah, it's disappointing. Like, you're just going around shooting people until one of them finally gets a lucky shot on you, because, I mean, like, it's really easy to get to wave 20 once you know what you're doing. So... yeah, again, this is just another disappointment, but... you know, at least it's a good way to learn the maps. I'll say that much. You know, you do get, the multiplayer perks, as I said earlier. You do get the mortar strike, I should say. And you do, I think you get a sentry gun. I don't remember if you get an attack helicopter. But you might. I don't think you do, though, because I went through like 20 waves on 2 maps and never saw one attack helicopter. So, just die, please. You too. I'm dead. Yeah. Yeah, basically that was just me not paying attention. But yeah, this game keeps your scores, and there are leaderboards. Let's see if I can go to those leaderboards. Yeah, that campaign XP does nothing. It's really there for no good reason. So let's check the leaderboards. Oh yeah. I forgot to turn that off, for one reason. I'll just go and turn my Wi-Fi back on. I turned that off for one reason that I thought I was going to get to mention. When you're in the middle of playing a Hostiles mission and nothing else, it's weird, because it pops up this really silly message that you want to, that it can't find a Wi-Fi network, so it can't connect it to the network in the middle of the game, and it will pause you in the middle of the game if it does. It was weird. Really, really weird. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass bug. And as you can see, the AI was pretty stupid as well, and they don't really introduce any variety, so this isn't much to look into either. But, you know... Wait a second, what's my score's 39k. I should be on this leaderboard. I guess you have to be connected to the internet while you're making your high score run. Alright, well, let's just do one more. No, this'll do. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've said everything I have to say. Just Hostiles mode gets boring after a while. I mean, like, it's just one of those things that you'll do once and then you'll never come back to, because it just doesn't entertain as much as I would hope. There's not enough challenge. There's not enough variety. It's just... The only difficult one is the one on Nuke House, because the one on Nuke House is Newcastle is small for one person going around shooting like 15 other people that slowly spawn in. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's do this. I'll probably just quit after like 5 minutes of this because, like, you know, you get the point. All that it changes is that some of them explode after a time limit that's very easy to outrun, and they just drop different guns. Yeah, 2 for 1. Brilliant. I mean, like, here's the thing. Even the operations have... I mean, like, I know I said they have no real replayability, but other than, you know, finishing them on Veteran, they do have their own trophies for silly little things that you can do. So it's like, if you shoot 10 stacks of cocaine in the final mission, you'll get a trophy, but if you knife 10 stacks, you'll get a trophy as well. There's one mission you have to finish without reloading. There's another one you have to finish without using night vision goggles, which are almost a necessity in that mission. But yeah, this has no replayability at all. There's no challenges, there's no variety, there's nothing to it. I think I actually thought I was enjoying this, but then I looked back and I'm like, no I'm not, what the hell am I thinking? It's just... God, I wish Nihilistic would have come up with something better, because it feels like another wasted opportunity. It's like, what is it with these guys and making games that are just so incredibly boring? Also, if you're in the middle of capturing a crate and the timer runs out, it will disappear and you won't get your weapon. And if you're playing into the later waves, which you need to in order to get 3 stars in the final platinum, it's like you need to get the crates because the ammo starts dropping less and less and you start having more and more guys to take out. Even though the funny thing is, after about wave 4, I think it is, you start going up against 14 people instead of 12, and it never goes higher than that. So it's like you never have to last for like against 30 people at wave 10, and it's like, why? Why can't you? It's just the same wave of people again and again and again and again. Just, yeah, you know, at least the controls don't make it a chore, but there's one little bug I want to mention. Door frame. Sometimes you can get stuck in them. Like, you'll literally try and walk through and you'll be like, oh, hold on, what's going on here? Why can't I get through? And you'll have to back away and step back in. And, yeah, it's again, it's stupid. I don't understand why it happens. It's like, oh, I can shoot, like, 14 people without breaking a sweat, but I can't walk through a door! Oh, man. I'm sorry, I'm not even paying attention at this point, I'm so bored. Yeah, crossbow. As you can see, you only get 5 shots with it, and it's only really useful when heaps of people group together. I usually just swap it out for another weapon the first chance I get. But just for the hell of it, let's try and use it. Missed. Ooh, I got him. But, yeah, that's basically all I have to say. Hostiles is a repetitive, boring game mode that you should really only play a couple of times to get used to some of the multiplayer maps. Let's get on to the good bit. Multi.